So let's look at protein recommendations for fat loss. Is there a case for going higher than the government RDA, so closer to that 1.6 grams or higher, if our client's priority is fat loss? Well, we already know that if they are looking to lose fat, then they're going to be calorically restricted. So that would be one case for a little bit higher protein. We know that if they're over the age of 35, that might be another increase in protein needs. And if they're looking to add lean tissue and optimize that, that would be another case for the 1.6, or preserve the muscle tissue that they have while dieting or while calorically restricted. But is there any other benefits from a fat loss perspective? And there are. So if we look at the energy cost of digesting protein, we referenced this earlier. About 25 to 30% of the energy used is used to digest, when consuming protein, is used to digest and assimilate that protein. So that means every 100 calories of protein that we consume, we lose 25 of those calories, of those 100 calories, through thermogenesis. So also when we are dieting down, getting leaner, we may be losing fat around the joints. So using protein like cold water fish to transport omega-3 fatty acids for anti-inflammatory benefits can definitely help. Also, during caloric restriction, reducing hunger has been shown as a byproduct of increased protein consumption. So if you look at here on the charts, if just comparing a balanced approach to a higher protein amount of 35% total calories, you're burning roughly 33 more calories per day just on a 1,400 calorie diet. So if our client was on a 2,000 calorie diet, that number goes up. So by increasing our client's protein, if their palate and it fits with their lifestyle, we are increasing the thermogenic effect of that macronutrient. Thus, it could be used to aid fat loss. So looking at, well, is there too much? So the studies that they've done on increased protein consumption well above and beyond the government RDA have not led to conclusively showing that protein is going to lead to renal or kidney disease or anything of that nature. So in the parent healthy adult, there is not a upper limit of protein intake, assuming that the client is getting proper human nutrition in the other two macronutrients, carbohydrates and fat. So if a client really had a high palate for protein, they love to eat protein, they want to do up to 2 or 3 times the government RDA, there aren't anything in the data that would suggest any issues unless they have prior health concerns. So that kind of goes along with the absorption myth. Some of the people that say, well, when protein is digested or assimilated, it's denatured and unfolded in the digestive tract. Pepsin and pepsinogen are key enzymes in the process of digesting that protein. And a byproduct of protein breakdown is ammonia production. Your body treats ammonia as a waste product, of course, eliminating it through the liver. It can also be used to form a chemical compound called urea. Your bloodstream moves the urea to your kidneys where it's eliminated in your urine. So things like ammonia and urea, people that are against higher protein approaches say that, well, that can be toxic, that can lead to issues, that can lead to undue stress on the kidneys. However, the body, to prevent ammonia and urea from becoming toxic, the body will simply slow down the digestive process to allow for elimination of these substrates. So your body does something similar with alcohol. So when we talked about our deep dive into alcohol in our macronutrient deep dive series, it does something very similar with alcohol. So it does the same with protein. So to say your body can only absorb 40 grams or 30 grams or whatnot in a meal, the rest is not wasted. It just takes longer to be digested, longer to be denatured, and longer for the body to excrete that urea through the kidneys. So that is a protective mechanism that our body has within it to make sure that toxicity or protein toxicity does not happen within our digestive process. So very important that we understand that should a client raise concern. Now, if a client was raising concern about their protein, I would probably go back to that first pillar of human nutrition and lifestyle and say, hey, am I assigning a protein amount that's going to be sustainable regardless of if it's quote unquote optimal for their goals? Even a client who is resistance training or running, getting the government RDA is going to be able to live a healthy life. They just may not optimize recovery or muscle mass. However, there would not be any necessary health risks associated with that. So we always want to formulate to optimal if it's sustainable and if it fits within that first pillar of human nutrition, which is their lifestyle.